I took pleasure in tormenting my teachers. At that time, for example, AT&T was the stock that all teachers owned for their retirement. And I decided that it would drive my teachers a little crazy if I went short the stock, because when you go short a stock, you're betting that it will go down. So I shorted 10 shares of AT&T and then brought the confirmation to school and showed these teachers that I was shorting the stock. They found me a big pain in the neck, but they did think I knew a lot about stocks.
Testing 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Yeah, right, okay.
If I want to live a long time, I should keep eating like a 6-year-old, which I do. Yeah. And it works.
I heard they are going to call off the Wall Street Christmas pageant because they couldn't find 3 wise men. You know, and there's been a real problem there. They couldn't find a virgin either, but that's another problem.
When people constantly complain that you in the news business know that, you know, how can you write about business when you haven't been in business, and how can you write about sports when you haven't been a football player yourself? And his retort to that was, you don't have to be dead to write obituaries.
Do you feel 85? It's so interesting to watch you work and talk.
Well, I have a duty. I have to give people hope that Warren has 7 more good years in him.
What did the Buffetts pay you?
Well, I think they were very generous.
No, what did they pay you? 50 cents an hour?
Oh, probably 25.
If my wife paid her, she probably got paid more than if I'd paid her.
True.
Now, the topic of dealing with the news media seems to me that probably the best advice I can give to you who have to do that is that it's really very much like the old advice about making love to a porcupine, that it should be done very carefully.
I've got a partner, Charlie Munger, says he admires humility enormously, but he wasn't quite given his fair share.
Can you remember buying your first mattress, Warren?
Well, I didn't do very much of the purchasing in our family. I can't recall ever buying anything, actually.
Remember when Warren got on this subject and they asked him what he wanted said at his funeral? He said, I want them to all be saying that's the oldest looking corpse I ever saw. and
that may be the smartest thing I ever said. And for those of you who are old-time basketball fans, I might mention that on Wilt Chamberlain's tomb, it was reputed that it was going to say, at last I sleep alone.
I resent being accused of maintaining my wits. I am a much better golfer than Tiger Woods. I have now shot my age 3 times, and that guy isn't even close.
I knew he'd work it into the conversation somehow.
He isn't even close.
I'd have to live to be 150 to shoot my age, and then I'd have to cheat.
Salary of what?
$100,000 a year.
That's what you're paid?
Yeah.
The board of directors thinks that you're worth $100,000 a year?
Well, I don't ask them, actually. You know, we call on people that have $1 billion or more, at least Steve tells us they do, and all we ask is 50%. So, if you have trouble living on $500 million, I'm going to put out a book, How to Live on $500 Million. We pay our board, our directors, $900 a year, and I really would like to pay them more, but Bill's so far ahead of me on that Forbes list already, I don't want to give him any ammunition.
You turned 76 in August.
That's right, August 30th.
Happy birthday. How do you feel?
Got married on August 30th, too. That way I can remember my anniversary.
Teacher. He'd like that inscribed on his gravestone.
I'm not in a hurry to do it, but
Tell me, what does it say on that gravestone?
Well, I'd like it to say, here lies the oldest man that ever lived, actually. Boy, what's your dream now? She says,
My dream? Well...
Let's skip the first one.
Sometime when I'm especially wishful, I think, oh, to be 90 again.
Charlie says all he wants to know is where he'll die, so he'll never go there. You know, and so you. But life has been awfully good to me and Charlie, so we have no complaints.
What you don't want to be is like the man, and they have his funeral, and the minister said, now it's the time for somebody to say something nice about the deceased. And nobody came forward, and nobody came forward. He said, surely somebody can say something nice about the deceased, and nobody came forward. And finally one man came up and he said, well, he said, his brother was worse.
Yeah.
We look to you and follow your lead. But when you need advice and feedback about an idea or decision, I'd like to know, who do you go to?
Well, usually I look in the mirror. I'm to be perfectly honest.
Well, remember what Bismarck said? There are two things that nobody should have to watch. One is the making of sausage, and the other is the making of legislation.
Yeah. Well, I would say this, somebody ought to watch.
Oh, fruit of the loom.
Fruit of the loom, yeah. Those are the fruit guys. Yeah. As we say, we cover the asses of the masses.
The people who do you want your legacy to be?
Well, I've always said on my tombstone, I just wanted to say, my God, he was old.